You know, as we grow older, most of us start worrying about the big names: heart attack, stroke, cancer, Alzheimer's. But what if the real danger isn't the thunder that strikes suddenly, but the quiet erosion that happens little by little, day after day, in the silence of our own bodies? I've spoken with hundreds of older adults who say the same thing. My legs feel so heavy at night. My feet are always cold. Sometimes I wake up with cramps so painful I can't even move. And almost always they smile softly and add, "It's just part of getting old, isn't it?" But it's not. That heaviness, that numbness, that strange tingling, they're not signs of age. They're signs of a body calling for help. They are the whispers of poor circulation, a hidden current slowing down inside us, starving our cells, our brain, our heart, of the life-giving oxygen they depend on. And when that current weakens, so does everything that makes us feel alive: our energy, our memory, our joy, even our peace at night. It's not sudden, it's subtle, like the quiet dimming of a light we didn't notice fading. But here's the beautiful truth I've seen again and again in my patients. The body never gives up on us. It's always trying to heal, always reaching for balance, if we just learn to listen before the silence becomes pain. So, let's begin there, not with fear, but with awareness. Let's learn to hear those early whispers from within, before they turn into cries for help. When I ask my older patients, "How long have you felt this way?" they often smile and say, "Oh, it's been years. I just learned to live with it." But the body never stops trying to talk to us. It begins gently, a soft murmur, a faint signal, before it ever raises its voice. That little tingling in your feet, like tiny sparks beneath the skin, that's not nothing. It's your nerves waving a flag saying, "We're not getting enough oxygen down here." The same is true for those cold feet that never seem to warm up, no matter how thick your socks are. That chill isn't just temperature, it's circulation slowing, blood struggling to reach the places farthest from your heart. Then come the cramps. Sharp, seizing, uninvited pain that wakes you at 2 a.m. I once had a patient, Robert, 68 years old, who told me he'd rather not sleep than face those nightly attacks. He thought it was just bad muscles. But what he really needed wasn't more stretching, it was better blood flow. Sometimes the body gives us clues we can see: skin that turns pale or bluish, veins rising like rivers under tired skin. And then there's that strange restlessness at night, the urge to move your legs again and again, like something deep inside refuses to be still. These aren't random annoyances. They're language, the body's way of saying, "Help me keep the life moving." And if we learn to listen early, before these whispers become shouts, we can protect not only our legs, but our heart, our brain, and the freedom to move through life with ease. Because the truth is, poor circulation doesn't start with pain, it starts with silence. And healing begins the moment we decide to stop ignoring it. You see, circulation is like a river, quiet, patient, carrying life to every corner of us. When we're young, that river runs fast and clear. Our hearts pump strong, our vessels stretch and bend like young willow branches. But as the years pass, that river begins to change, not out of cruelty, but simply because time leaves its fingerprints on every living thing. The walls of our blood vessels, once soft and elastic, begin to stiffen, like a garden hose left too long in the sun. The tiny valves inside our veins, those little gates that keep blood flowing upward toward the heart, start to weaken. And our blood itself, that sacred living fluid, can grow a little thicker, a little slower. None of this happens overnight. It's the quiet work of time and of choices we often don't even notice. Too much sitting, too little walking, years of stress we never fully released, a diet that forgot the colors of real food. I often tell my patients, it's not that the body breaks down, it's that the body reflects how gently we've cared for it. And here's the miracle. Rivers can flow again. Nature has a way of renewing itself when we remove the obstacles. So does your body. The same blood that once felt heavy can find its rhythm again. The same legs that ache today can feel light once more. But first, we must understand that aging isn't punishment. It's simply the body asking us to live more consciously. And when we listen, truly listen, we begin to remember the river was never gone. It was only waiting for us to help it move again. When we talk about circulation, we're really talking about the roads that carry life itself, our blood vessels. They're not steel pipes. They're living tissue, fragile, flexible, and beautifully complex. And like any road, they need maintenance. They crack, they wear down, they lose their spring. That's where one simple, humble nutrient steps in, vitamin C. Most people think of vitamin C as the cold and flu vitamin, but in truth, it's something far more powerful. It's the quiet architect that keeps your body's inner highways strong. Your blood vessels are made of collagen, the same resilient protein that gives your skin its glow and your joints their strength. Without vitamin C, your body simply cannot make enough of it. It's like trying to build a bridge with crumbling mortar. Eventually, it all gives way. I remember an older patient, Linda, 72, sweet woman, always smiling, always saying, "I eat healthy enough." But her legs ached, her skin bruised easily, and she'd wake up with cramps every night. We didn't start with pills. We started with colors, real food, real nourishment. She added fresh oranges in the morning, kiwi in the afternoon, a handful of spinach and red peppers at dinner. 2 months later, she told me, "I feel lighter, Doc. My legs don't hurt like before." That's not magic. That's the body rebuilding itself from the inside out. Vitamin C reminds us of something beautiful. Nature already gave us the medicine, bright, simple, growing from the earth. We just forgot how to use it. So before reaching for a bottle, reach for color. Each fruit, each leaf, each taste of something alive is your body's way of saying, "Thank you for remembering me." If vitamin C is the builder, then vitamin K is the wise gatekeeper, quietly standing at the crossroads of your body, deciding where calcium should go. Most people have never thought about it that way. They know calcium builds strong bones, but what they don't realize is that calcium can also become the enemy if it ends up in the wrong place. Over the years, I've seen arteries that should be soft and flexible turn hard like old garden hoses. That hardening, the medical world calls it arteriosclerosis, is what happens when calcium, meant for your bones, settles in your blood vessels instead. And that's when the river of life begins to slow. Vitamin K has one of the most beautiful jobs in nature. It tells calcium where to go. It keeps it in your bones, where it belongs, and keeps it out of your arteries, where it can cause harm. It's like a careful gardener, pruning, guiding, keeping the balance that lets everything thrive. I remember a man named Henry, 75 years old. He'd been told his bones were weak and his arteries were aging. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I guess that's just how it goes." But after a few simple changes, a big bowl of leafy greens each day, some steamed broccoli with dinner, and a handful of kale blended into his morning smoothie, 6 months later, His numbers improved, but more importantly, his energy did. He told me, "I feel steadier, lighter on my feet. That's the quiet victory of balance restored." Spinach, kale, collard greens, Brussels sprouts. They're not just vegetables. They're the caretakers of your inner garden. They keep your arteries supple and your bones strong, reminding us that true strength is not hardness, it's flexibility. There's a saying I love: the body is only as alive as its smallest cells. Every heartbeat, every thought, every step depends on those tiny cells being fed, cleansed, and renewed. And one of the quiet heroes in that process is vitamin B3, also known as niacin, the nutrient that keeps the smallest vessels of your body open and alive. Think of niacin as the bridge that connects energy to every cell. It helps your blood flow through the tiniest capillaries, delivering oxygen and nutrients where life begins. When that bridge weakens, the body starts to fade in subtle ways. Fatigue, cold hands, foggy thoughts, that loss of spark we often blame on age. I remember a retired teacher named Susan. She was 70, full of humor but always tired. Her legs ached, her concentration slipped, and she'd often say, "I feel like my body's slowing down faster than I am." We looked at her diet. Lots of bread and coffee, but not enough color, not enough variety. We added grilled salmon twice a week, a handful of almonds in the afternoon, and a bowl of lentil soup for dinner. 3 weeks later she smiled and said, "It feels like someone turned the lights back on." That's what niacin does. It rekindles the energy of the smallest parts of you. But it's important to remember, more isn't always better. High doses of niacin pills can cause dangerous blood pressure swings or skin flushing. Food, however, food is gentle. It nourishes without forcing. So instead of chasing pills, return to the plate. A handful of nuts, a piece of fish, a bowl of beans. They're not just meals. They're your daily invitation to feel alive again, one heartbeat at a time. If vitamin C builds, and vitamin K guides, and vitamin B3 fuels, then vitamin E is the gentle guardian, the quiet protector that stands watch over every cell in your body. You can't see its work, but you can feel it, in the warmth that returns to your feet, in the comfort that slowly replaces that constant tingling at night. Vitamin E is one of nature's most powerful antioxidants. It shields your blood vessels from the slow wear and tear of time, from the invisible stress that rusts us from the inside out. I once met Maria, 75, graceful but weary. She told me she hadn't felt her toes in years. "Even in summer," she said, "I wear thick socks to bed just to feel normal." When we looked at her diet, it was simple but empty, low in healthy fats, low in vitamin E. So we didn't rush to a supplement bottle. We went back to nature, a handful of sunflower seeds on her oatmeal every morning, half an avocado with her lunch salad. That's it. 2 small acts of nourishment. 2 months later, she walked into my office with a smile that said everything. "Doctor," she whispered, "my feet are warm again." That warmth, it wasn't just in her body, it was in her spirit. Vitamin E reminds us that healing isn't always dramatic. It's quiet, it's gentle. It happens meal by meal, choice by choice. And yet, there's one important truth to remember. Too much of a good thing can become harmful. High-dose vitamin E supplements can thin the blood and cause dangerous bleeding, especially if you already take blood-thinning medication. So, let food be the healer first. Spinach, nuts, seeds, avocados. They're not luxuries. They're lifelines. Through them, your body remembers what balance feels like. and what it means to feel alive again. Now that we've nourished the body from within, it's time to help it move. Because circulation isn't just about what we eat, it's about how we live. Blood flow is motion. It's life itself in motion. And sometimes the simplest things, the ones we've done since childhood, are the ones that bring us back to balance. The first habit is pure peace, raising your legs. At the end of the day, after standing or sitting for hours, lie down and rest your legs higher than your heart. Let gravity do the work for you. 15 minutes. That's all it takes for the swelling to soften, for the pressure to ease. You'll feel your heartbeat quiet down, your breath deepen. It's a small act of kindness, one your body will thank you for every night. The second habit is play, tiptoe walking. You can do it in the kitchen while waiting for the kettle to boil. Rise up on your toes, lower down slowly. Do it 20 times. Each time you lift yourself, your calves, what doctors call your second heart, squeeze life back up toward your chest. It's simple, it's powerful, it's free. Then there's one habit that surprises people, a cool rinse at the end of your shower. Not icy, just cool. Run it down your legs for half a minute. That gentle shock teaches your blood vessels to expand and contract. A little workout for the body's rivers. Add to that a gentle massage, always upward from ankles to knees. You're not just rubbing your legs. You're helping your body drain away fatigue and toxins, guiding flow back to the heart. And finally, the most important habit of all, walking. The simplest form of medicine ever created. 30 minutes a day. No machines, no gyms, just the sound of your feet, the rhythm of your breath, the reminder that you're still wonderfully alive. Because movement isn't about fitness, it's gratitude in motion. Every step says, "Thank you, body, for carrying me through another day." When I look back at all the people I've met, the Mariahs, the Henrys, the Susans, I realize something simple yet profound. Healing never comes from one single pill, one single moment, or one perfect diet. It comes from a pattern, a rhythm, a way of living that honors the quiet wisdom of the body. If I had to describe it, I'd call it a 3-part blueprint for renewal. First, we learn to recognize the whispers, the heaviness, the tingling, the cramps that aren't just old age, but the body's soft cry for attention. Awareness is always the first act of healing. You cannot change what you refuse to see. Second, we nourish, not with fear, not with fads, but with food that still remembers the sun. Vitamin C to build your vessel walls, vitamin K to guide your calcium home, vitamin B3 to bridge energy, and vitamin E to protect what's precious inside you. Nature has already written the prescription in every fruit, leaf, nut, and seed. And third, we move, not as punishment, but as gratitude, because every step, every stretch, every slow breath is your body's way of celebrating that it's still capable, still willing, still alive. Good circulation isn't just about your legs. It's about your heart, your brain, your spirit. It's about keeping the light within you moving freely. When you understand these 3 steps, listen, nourish, move, you're not fighting aging anymore. You're dancing with it. And that, my friends, is how we reclaim vitality, not by turning back the clock, but by learning to live fully in the time we have. If there's one thing life and medicine has taught me, it's this. Healing never begins with a miracle. It begins with a moment, a small, quiet moment when you decide to care again. Maybe it's choosing a fresh orange instead of something from a box. Maybe it's stepping outside after dinner, letting the evening air brush against your face. Maybe it's simply putting your legs up tonight, closing your eyes and whispering, "I still have time. My body is still mine." We spend so many years believing health is something we have to chase, something complicated, expensive, out of reach. But the truth is simpler, kinder. Your body has never stopped working for you. Even through the long nights, the hard seasons, the years you thought you were too old to change, it has been quietly repairing, forgiving, waiting for your help. So don't think of this as a battle. Think of it as a reunion, you and your body remembering how to work together again. Start with one small thing, a stretch, a step, a moment of stillness. Because from one small thing, everything grows. And as the blood begins to move freely again, so does your energy, your memory, your joy. Circulation isn't just blood flowing through veins, it's life flowing through you. It's your heart saying, "I'm still here." Your spirit whispering, "You still can." So tonight, wherever you are, take one slow breath. Feel that gentle rhythm beneath your ribs. That's your proof. You are alive. You are healing. And all you ever needed to do was begin.